Welcome in Ivana Stradner now.
Thank you.
Russia Program Fellow at the Foundation for the Defense of Democracies. Ivana, great to have you here.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
I wanted to try and get from you an assessment on the Russian people and how they are responding to all this. We hear reports about increasing gas prices. We have also talked about the fact that we've heard threats from Dmitry Medvedev and Vladimir Putin. If the U.S. does this, then we're going to do that. But we haven't seen Russia really deliver on those reprisals. How dire of a situation, if that's the right word, is Vladimir Putin in now inside Russia with his own people?
So thank you very much for inviting me. And to begin with, let's start with Russia's threats. Putin is a KGB guy, and he understands very well the psychology of his opponents. And Russia has been threatening with nukes since 2022 consistently. The Biden administration fell for those threats multiple times, every time we were supposed to deliver weapons. Just a few weeks ago, when Medvedev threatened the United States with nukes, President Trump did exactly the right thing to say, you cannot basically threaten me. I'm going to move U.S. submarines and to remove that threat from the table. So we have to understand that, of course, that Russia is not happy about tomahawks. Of course, that Russia is going to always escalate and then to de-escalate and then to position itself as a pillar of stability. We should not fall for this. So it's not only about tomahawk. I think also providing attackers to put Russia on the defensive would be a right approach. When it comes to Russia inside, so we have to be very realistic. I understand that many people in Washington love to see a solution. Sometimes solutions do not exist, and Russia is so deeply grained in that narrative about Russian imperialism that there are many people in Russia who are not upset with Putin because of the war. They're upset because he's not winning the war. And whoever believes, that Russia, the Russian people are going to take to the streets and overthrow Putin because they are suffering economically, they're sorely mistaken, because there is the cult of suffering there for years, and it's actually generational thing, even during the Cold War. And having said that, it doesn't mean that we should not impose sanctions. As a matter of fact, we should. And President Trump is absolutely right to threaten with secondary sanctions, but also sanctions on Russia's center of gravity, including energy, that will put Putin war machinery in a very bad situation.
Now, Ivana, also, there's going to be some requests today, we believe, or at least this is what the reporting is telling us, from the Ukrainians to take off the handcuffs from them a little bit and allow them to use some of these longer range weapons so they can fire deeper into Russian territory. Now, as we reported, Russia is attacking Ukrainian positions, civilian areas, most recently their infrastructure for energy in Kharkiv. What do you think about that? Will those restrictions be lifted on Ukraine anytime soon?
I truly hope they will, because Putin can only stop if we stop him. In other words, kindness is weakness for him, and he only understands the language of power. So we should absolutely not fall for his nuclear threats. As a matter of fact, putting him on the defensive to bring him on the negotiation table is the right thing. And here is something really important to emphasize. Many people in Washington fear that Putin might escalate because he doesn't like, he fears to lose, his face. We should not worry about that, because he completely controls the information space inside Russia, and he can spin any information in the way that he wants. Even losing some territory, he can spin it as a victory. So we should definitely not fall for that, but it's definitely past time for the United States to put Russia on the defensive. And this is why this war in Ukraine, it's not only about Ukraine. Russia is already waging a hybrid war against the West. Just look what happened just a few weeks ago with Poland and drones. Russia wants to challenge NATO. And not only that, Russia has very strong ties with countries such as China and Iran. And these axis of aggressors, they're working together to completely rewrite the global order and to remove the United States from its leading position. And that's why we should not allow Putin to win Ukraine, because China is watching. and they're observing about their next moves in Taiwan.
Yes, Vladimir Putin, as you indicated, a former KGB guy, also a judo master, so he knows how to use his opponent's strengths and turn them into weaknesses. We will see what comes if this peace talks, if they do happen in Budapest in the next couple of weeks. Ivana, great to have you here with us today. Thank you so much.
Always pleasure. Thank you.